Welcome back. The uMkhonto weSizwe party has called for a secret ballot in the upcoming vote on its motion of no confidence in President Cyril Ramaphosa. The party says the request is intended to protect members of the National Assembly from intimidation or reprisals by their political parties when the motion is considered. MK Party Parliamentary Leader John Hlophe made the formal request in a letter to National Assembly Speaker Togo Didiza. The motion filed on Tuesday cites multiple governance failures under Ramaphosa's administration, including rising crime, economic decline and lapses in national security. Joining us now is the party's Chief Whip, Colleen Makhubele. Ms. Makhubele, thanks so much for your time and for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me. Good evening to you and to our viewers at home.
No, well, it's an absolute pleasure having you here. And we obviously have to start back at Wednesday.
Yeah.
That which you said was a mistake in voting in favor of the appropriations bill. Tell us exactly what went down. I'm happy that you're finding it funny.
Well, it was not funny on the day. You know, the error was started by, of course, the presiding officer calling the fifth report, which was the Mkhwanazi report, which we knew we were going to support. Because MK Party stands with Mkhwanazi and we want this inquiry to happen so people will be held to account. Yeah. So when he said the fifth report, my mind automatically went to that report.
For that.
And now I needed to prep our speaker of the day for that particular report, you know, because it was important for our viewers and listeners at home to hear why we are supporting this report. Remember, we have been rejecting a whole lot of GNU reports throughout the whole day.
But this
one was very important, especially for the constituency. So my mind went there. So when the table corrected the chairperson, you know, and he made that correction, I was not paying attention to that. So that's how I missed it. And then when we had to vote, I voted in support. And when everybody's having this commotion, I'm thinking, okay, there's the excitement is that for the first time we are voting with the GNU on this particular issue. Yeah. But it was only after when it was brought to my attention, you know, by one of our members who came up to say, no, Chief, we've actually gone back. We're on the fourth report, not the fifth. Then I realized, oh my goodness, that was
that vote.
But no, we didn't give it away because according to Rule 117, which was applied on the day, if there's a confusion on the vote or an error, we've made an error, you're allowed to go back again and say, I've made an error. You know, it has happened before, even in votes of no confidence. People that maybe didn't hear the question well, you say yes instead of no. Because sometimes it's loud, there's noise and whatever. It can happen. You're allowed to change your vote. So we voted correctly, basically. We rejected the budget. So at the end, you know, it worked out. It was just that everybody's focusing on that particular moment. They don't watch the rest of what has happened. No. We voted against the budget, but we voted with the Mkhwanazi report, which we want that inquiry to happen.
And you received a lot of backlash from your fellow MP members for that.
Yeah, I did. I mean, everybody was like, we know where is our stance when it comes to you know, the GNU budget, you know, in terms of it not addressing the needs of our people, you know, based on fuel levies that are going to create even more harsh conditions. So everybody was just surprised to say, oh no, but they didn't realize that I didn't hear because I was busy in conversation with our speaker, making sure that, you know, he's aligned. But after that, it was really sorted out. It was nothing. It was just a panic of that moment. But I think it captured the whole country because everybody focuses on that. It made me famous for a little while, but
it certainly did.
But it was sorted. We voted correctly. There's no issues there.
Now, the issue at hand, of course, now is the motion of no confidence that has been set against the president. The parliamentary leader, Dr. Hlophe, wrote a letter to the speaker. And in that letter, he highlights, in fact, the 2017 Constitutional Court ruling in the UDM versus the Speaker of National Assembly, affirming that the Speaker has a discretion to permit for that secret ballot. What's your expectation around this?
We actually we have high expectations on the Speaker to uphold those democratic principles. We do believe that she has been a very fair Speaker and have treated every party, you know, with that whole transparent fairness without, you know, wearing any T-shirt in her approach to issues. We think she's going to give us a favorable consideration. It's factual. It's based on, you know, the Constitutional Court ruling. And we have given her our reasons, which are truly valid. This is a sensitive motion. It is a heightened attention motion, and we don't want MPs to go there with fear and not vote according to their conscience, because our democracy and our constitution demands that we vote according to our conscience. That's the oath of office that we've taken. And in the past, we have seen people that have suffered political consequences for voting with their conscience and not according to any particular instruction. And we want to avoid that at all costs, that nobody must be afraid to lose their jobs. And we have done this even in local government, where we voted with secret ballots. It has worked out well, and we've seen results do swing and change when people are given that freedom to be between them, their conscience, and what they have sworn to do for the nation and in line with their oath of office. And they vote correctly, and we believe this is the time when people must be given that opportunity to vote correctly.
Your spokesperson has given a couple of numbers with regards to what he predicts that secret ballot would come out as, even a 70% possibly that would vote against the president in this motion of no confidence. But I mean, the appropriation bill, of course, that was no secret vote. Yeah. The numbers were completely vast, with that 262 votes to 90. What are the possibilities of succeeding?
Yes, perhaps we talk about what gives us that confidence that this has a chance of succeeding. It's because each and every party that goes up in that National Assembly and the MPs that goes to debate, we all cite the same issues on governance failures, national security issues, service delivery failures, socioeconomic problems. People are languishing in poverty, inequality. And we feel it in our constituencies. When we go back to our constituencies, that's the same message that comes to all of us. No water, no electricity, no jobs, high crimes, GBV, you name it. So the lived experience of South Africans is that. And if each and every member of parliament representing those constituencies can honestly today stand up and have to rate this president and the presidency and the government of today, and we forget about what color of T-shirts we wear. If we had to do a performance review from the 6th administration to the 7th administration of the president, what he has promised, what he has done, what we are seeing on the ground, and what South Africa looks like to us and to the world, he would not come out as somebody who has passed that vote of no confidence. But if parties are going to play politics around it, and they are going to now consider their trade-offs in the GNU, and they've got blue lights, then we're going to see it skewed. And if parties are going to be afraid that, hey, when they see me raise my hands, I'm going to be fired, then we will not have the result that we are looking for. This is an opportunity. We don't even need the national dialogue, Katleho. This is where the national dialogue is going to happen for free without 700 million. Where each and every person will stand up there and voice their view on what they think, what kind of South Africa were we hoping for? Are we seeing that South Africa? What kind of a presidency were we hoping for? Is it an accountable presidency? If really there's a party that can come and argue with the reasons that we've put here, their constituency will be listening, and they will have to account to say, if you are saying that you see accountability, you see service delivery, show us where, how? Because this is a performance review for the presidency and the country. And if the president is confident that he'll come out strong, there should not be an issue with secret ballot.
And should you not get that secret ballot, what then? Are you going to keep continuing in trying to getting this motion of no confidence against the president until you get to a time where you succeed?
Look, there are options. We can even continue with the vote of, with this motion of no confidence, even if it's not a secret ballot. Because it gives the nation an opportunity to have a dialogue. It gives us as members of parliament to have a debate on this important matter. Yes, it would have been manipulated, unfair, etc. But the nation will hear what it is that we are saying. And we've got a whole lot of support, even from quarters that we never thought they would be supporting us when we put this motion of no confidence forward, because it's not driven out of bitterness or spite or playing politics. It is really the lived experience. You've seen the last 2 weeks those revelations of General Mkhwalazi, what they did to the nation. There was an uprising. People went to demonstrate, self-driven in different areas. And what are they demanding? All of them were clear. accountability. They want a better government, you know, that will combat crime, that will deal with all these issues. They don't want to have a president who's not accountable, who can't even fire a minister who has been so alleged with so much corruptions leveled at him. And he's still sitting there as on special leave. I mean, you cannot have a cabinet that has so much criminals in it. We've just seen some new revelations of criminal syndicates that are acting up in Joburg, and one of the leaders of that party is sitting in the cabinet as well. What else are we sitting with in that cabinet? Besides that, we have seen Minister of Justice being moved to human settlement. So there is no drive, there's no this resolve to deal with corruption even at the level of the cabinet. So never mind the level of SAPs and our communities. And that's what we are talking about, to say, do we have the right country policies? Do we have the right president at the helm of this country? Does he have an economic recovery plan? Does he have a plan to deal with all of this criminality and make our safe cities, borders safe and clean as well? Those are the questions that we have to dialogue on and debate on when we do this motion, and that's the purpose of it.
And what do you say to some who argue that the leader of the MK party had a time where he led this country, and some of the very issues that we are faced with now emanated from such an administration? And is the MK party not just playing politics and politicking and grandstanding in parliament, when truly South Africans on the ground are bearing the brunt of those porous borders, not being able to get medication in hospitals, overcrowding in schools, and all the other social ills that we face on a daily basis?
Indeed. I mean, the issues of South Africa, they started way before, even the President Zuma's tenure. We've seen issues that started during President Mbeki's tenure as well. And as a president, you do inherit and put together your plans to resolve them. President Zuma himself, in his time, he did face motions of no confidence, not one, not two, not three, I think about 7 or 8, you know, it was a lot of them. And he managed to sail through them, and he had a plan for economic recovery as well. And we could see that plan in motion. But where we are sitting now, today, is what we are dealing with as MK party and as the progressive alliance parties that have joined us in this motion as well, who are pledging their support to it. We are dealing with the issues of today and now. This is not President Zuma's time. Then MK was not here during that time. This is the time for MK now to be official opposition, to do what we need to do for our people. And people must know that we are not doing this because we're really desperate or want to go into power, want to take the presidency. No, we've got our own path to power that we've defined for 2029 to take over power legitimately. You know, through the ballot paper, constitutionally, we are going to win outright. We are doing this because we are saying the government of the day is not capable of governing. We hear the cries of our people, the pain of our people. What pained us the most was that last week, Wednesday, when we did the presidential vote, our party leader, Dr. Hlophe, he stood up there and he gave a scenario of all these issues that the country is facing that are not being resolved, from lack of water, electricity, the pain of our people, unemployment, traditional leaders, social disorder. He gave a litany of all of these sufferings that our people are going through. And in the hope that when the president will come back and respond the following day, he'll at least give a plan of how this will be addressed. But you know what the president did? He came back the following day. He calls it a laundry list. You know, John Hlophe, you gave me a laundry list, in a mocking way. That is not good. And that then showed us the kind of administration that we're dealing with. No empathy, it's not caring. It has lost touch with the very people that it's supposed to serve. And that angered our constituencies so much to say we're hoping for a better response. And now, go ahead, let's do this motion of no confidence. This is driven from the ground up. We are not playing politics here. We are really voicing the frustrations of the people.
Should such a motion of no confidence succeed, how do you think this would destabilize the GNU, and what impact would that have on South Africans?
You see, the GNU cannot be a personality cult of President Ramaphosa. If the GNU is based on principle and based on the right values and the right intentions to serve South Africa, it should be able to survive even beyond Ramaphosa, because they should have a broader picture. What brings them together should be beyond the personality. It concerns us if this GNU, it hangs on President Ramaphosa, it means it's not a government of nation. It's just a club to protect one man from accountability, which then doesn't make it a government of any nation. It's a good-for-nothing unity, basically. So they must be able to find themselves beyond this if they still want to be a GNU. But the Progressive Alliance is there, and we are open to, we are talking to each other, and should we have an opportunity, you'll see what South Africa could look like with a progressive left.
All right, we will then wait and see. Chief Whip, thank you so much for joining us this evening and having that laugh at the very beginning with regards to that error that you were able to rectify. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Katlana.